has promised that we will create Telangana, and when election comes.
All the parties have
And in fact all the national parties.
All the parties.
When the election is over, then this is diluted.
But
this
now the Congress and the UPA have a serious crisis on their hands now.
Yes, now Congress is between the devil and the deep sea. At the same time, they want that it should be created, because their own cadre is also leaving and they are resigning. On the other hand, if they create other two regions, they annoy those regions and they will get no support in the next election. In those regions.
It's a no-win situation.
Situation.
Do you agree with the findings of the Sri Krishna committee report?
Sri Krishna committee report, whatever little I have read about the committee report, it's very comprehensive in its scope and all. It has gone into history and all.
It is comprehensive, but primarily it is for a united Andhra Pradesh.
Yeah, they want a status quo because they have two options. They have given two options broadly. One, they say that keep Andhra Pradesh united, but then create like Telangana Provincial Council, Telangana Regional Council,
right.
and also have a council for water management, irrigation and all those problems like farmer suicide and all. This is one. Second, they say, second option would be that you divide between the two, Telangana as a separate state and Rayalaseema or rest of Andhra as a separate, like pre-56 position they want like. The two position, out of the two position, they say this position is better. It's working position that keep Andhra Pradesh united. And why keep Andhra Pradesh united? As I said, one, Maoist problem. Second, they say that there is a great degree of hostility.
So are you in agreement with the Sri Krishna report?
No, I think this report doesn't tell anything. You know, it's just like a exercise which is.
Or let me put it differently. Are you for a separate state of Telangana?
See, Telangana can be created in my considered opinion because, you know, Sri Krishna report has said very clearly that there is a wide support, ground support for the creation of Telangana in all the sections of Telangana region. They have gone to meet very many people. Now, in the same report, they have not included the interviews they held with the police officers and the army officers. And probably these police officers and the bureaucrats, they told them that, you know, if you create Telangana, Telangana would be unable to handle the Maoist problem, which is not really acceptable to me. I mean, this kind of argument that in the name of internal security and, you know,
in the name of internal security, you can't deny a certain area its rights.
It reminds me of like the Salwa Judum kind of situation.
Professor Shukla, the committee recommended creation of a separate Telangana Regional Council that is within the state. Now, do you think that's a viable option?
You see, keeping 3 or 4 kind of ethnic and cultural groups with conflicting interests is not a very good idea in a state. It creates problems of governability and management, which further hampers progress and development of the area as a whole. You have examples, other examples coming up like Bodoland and in Assam and Gorkhaland.
So you mean rather than have a regional council, it's better to have a separate state of Telangana?
Yes, they should be there, so. Because it gives the ethos to that people, give them the right, you know, right culture and right stage to come up.
Now, you must have read that one of the justices of the Andhra Pradesh High Court, Narasimha Reddy, he criticized the Sri Krishna report, stating that it went beyond the terms of reference and that, you know, the method adopted or some of the recommendations are a threat to democracy. How would you react to that?
That is probably overstated. It is more of rhetoric. I don't think there is a threat to democracy by these things. But more pertinent fact is that as long as Rayalaseema and coastal Andhra are bent upon resisting the creation of Telangana, I don't see that Telangana can be foisted again on this viewpoint or this opinion. These people, it has to be a result of a consensus, and this council seems to be a viable solution which should be acceptable to practically all concerned. That's my feeling. But whether the consensus is brought about or not, I don't know.
I don't think a consensus will come about from the Telangana region on a regional council.
And the main issue is that whether the council would be really empowered, because the historical experiences say that many councils have been appointed, like Gorkhaland Council. It didn't really work. So that is also.
Is Telangana Regional Council an answer?
In fact, Telangana Regional Council is not answer. If you want to create a state, then you should have a separate state, because Telangana Regional Council will dilute the powers of the state and it will be a great threat to the federal structure itself. You know how? Because you are creating states within the states and autonomous regions with the different powers, like it is happening in Jammu and Kashmir, it is happening in Gorkhaland. You give some powers to a region or 2 districts, 3 districts, then it will be an endless process and it will go and on and on.
Since you talked about West Bengal and the Gorkha areas, I think there is a demand now, there has been a demand for Gorkhaland, but there is some kind of an agreement which is taking place, a tripartite agreement, whereby a Gorkhaland territorial administration is to replace the Hill Council. So you don't think that's a workable arrangement?
Yes, it's not a workable arrangement.
That
I
worked earlier also.
I feel, what is happening is these small states, there are only 2 districts, Darjeeling district and Kalimpong district and some other areas. These 2 districts will constitute this Gorkha territorial administration.
Kamtapuri area also.
And
Kamtapuri.
some areas,
Siliguri too.
some areas.
Siliguri.
No, not yet decided. Siliguri not yet decided. But what they are doing is 60 odd departments, subjects, they are being transferred to the Gorkha territorial administration. And where the revenue will come to sustain this smaller entity, 200 crore rupees every year will be given by the central government for 3 years.
But that is only for 3 years.
For 3
That
years.
reminds me.
No,
Say Krishna report.
that does not make it sustainable, because if this again I put the same thing, if this keeps on happening, then there are there are 10 pending demands of making separate states with the central government.
Yeah.
So this way every state and sub-state and sub-region and minuscule groups, they will demand for the separate states or separate hill councils and kind of arrangement. Then where will be the state authority?
Ashutosh, do you agree with
I just
Professor
wanted
Khalid,
to
because-
add 2 points
Yes.
very quickly. One, this economic viability. Sri Krishna Committee report has said it very clearly that with Hyderabad or without Hyderabad, Telangana would be economically viable. And Telangana has caught up. Telangana has developed. In fact, Rayalaseema is far less developed than Telangana. So that issue is taken care of. Telangana can take care of itself if it's created as a separate state. Second thing about this state within a state, I don't understand what is this state within a state. It's just like a kind of regional arrangement which can be worked out, provided there is a political will. If provided
So
there is
you
a
don't think having a Gorkhaland territorial administration will weaken the state of West Bengal?
No way. I think I go by what Professor Puri said, that this kind of arrangement would be best, because there's a civil war-like situation in Andhra Pradesh. Like if you create like Hyderabad position, what would be the status of Hyderabad? That's a key issue, because in Hyderabad, most of the people who have invested, they are from Rayalaseema and coastal, mostly from coastal Andhra. So that would be a real problem, that if you create right now, I'm saying right now, time is of essence. If you create
there could be many more demands.
There would be many more. No, there would be a kind of civil war-like situation. Like Andhra Pradesh is a state where you don't get, if you are from Rayalaseema region, you don't get job in Telangana. You may be knowing it. Class 3, class 4 job you don't get. You have to belong to the region to get the class 2, class 3 job. So there is already a kind of a structured thing. Right, even admission, I have been to Osmania University, it's almost like Telangana. All the students, teachers, there is a kind of division.
Absolutely. Since you're running out of time,
Yeah.
Professor Shukla, tell me, going beyond these 2 regions, the Telangana region and the West Bengal region, do you think we need smaller states and possibly even smaller districts?
I believe in that argument definitely, because I feel that economics is not the only criterion for the concept of deepening of democracy, or federalization or reshaping of federalism in the country. It is just one of the things, and economic viability will come automatically as time passes, because first it has to be political support from the center, and then only the cultures can develop. And second thing which I want to bring to your notice is the concept of VND, which has been mentioned by Professor Puri
Yes.
and Dr. Ashutosh, which is based on the earlier theory of sons of soil, tons of toil theory. So when you have that, then the economic result comes. So first comes the political will, and to be followed by the economics, which emerges from the zest of the people living in that area.
Professor Puri, with your experience of this region, are smaller states better governed?
Not really. You see, you can't, it's a mixed bag. You see, in certain places, it is a remarkable success. Closer at hand, the Haryana region could not develop in unified Punjab, as it were, and look, now it has left Punjab behind. Therefore, it much can be, it depends upon the circumstances and the quality of leadership. So I think merely a smallness of an area is no guarantee.
Now the other thing at the heart of the Telangana matter is also the status of the city of Hyderabad.
Yes.
Some people have been suggesting that it should be declared a union territory.
Yes.
With the experience of Chandigarh, should Hyderabad be declared a union territory?
I would be one for that. Yes,
You would be one for it.
Absolutely, absolutely, because it becomes less contentious, and much of the argument sort of goes over it, and it is.
Similar demand was for Bombay also, sir. Bombay should be turned into Indian territory.
Yeah, because it's beneficial and more convenient.
You know, there is a kind of elitist design also, elitist design. You know that.
But I'm sure a lot of people in Punjab and Haryana would not agree with your
I'm quite sure. Yes,
surmise on
for
Chandigarh.
reasons of their own.
Absolutely. Professor Ashutosh, in your article in the Economic and Political Weekly, you made out a case for a new states reorganization commission.
Yeah.
What should be the basis of the carving out of or redrawing of the states?
I think it should be on the basis of it should be on the development basis, development, better governance, decentralization, and I also feel that there should be consensus, as Professor Puri has been saying, that there should be broad consensus about such demands, and there should be a consistent policy. It's not like Telangana, there is some problem in Telangana, Osmania University is on fire, so you go for this. Or there is a problem, or Rahul Gandhi says about Bundelkhand, you go for Bundelkhand. There should be a consistent policy. You have already this certain center-state relations. Justice Munshi is the heading. So you have interstate council also. All those constitutional mechanisms, they should be activated, and there should be a thorough thinking about the whole issue. And I'm not afraid, unlike Professor Khalid, I'm very much in favor of smaller states, because I think the smaller states are better governed. They are likely to be better governed, not in all
Provided they are financially viable.
Yeah, financially
But the
viable.
cohesiveness. You see, the cohesion of the social fabric is much easily attained in a smaller area rather than a spread out area. I mean, geographic fact.
Yes.
And the interaction which provides the sinews for development.
Absolutely. Professor Khalid, just before we close, last word from you.
Yeah.
Is it time to have a fresh states reorganization commission? And
I
if
told you
yes,
that
what should be the basis?
we are in for a grand reorganization very soon, but the state should not be very large, so that certain areas remain totally undeveloped and they are not looked at. And they should not be very small, so that only they can sustain on the grants and aid from the central government.
But will that not open the Pandora's box?
In any case, we are in for a Pandora's box.
Right. Thank you very much for joining us in the discussion. Persistent and increasing demands for creation of new states is a pointer to the current federal system being unable to meet the aspirations of the people. Present times of geopolitical churning perhaps indicate that it is time to look at factors other than just language while creating or redrawing the state boundaries. Key principles that have emerged are good governance, development, and financial viability of states. With that, we end this edition of Prime. We meet again tomorrow with another issue. Good luck and goodbye.